Right. And we are live immediately, and I'm a little off dressed today, doing something new. It's a kid special today. We got Cupcake! Yay! Go ahead and clap, Cupcake. Yay! She's making my hands clap. Yay! There you go. Do it. Oh, come on. We were so close. All right, real quick. The trade-offs of life, y'all. We got the trade-offs of life we about to talk about today. And it's incredibly important to understand these and to pay attention to it and to make sure that you are comfortable in your decision. Okay. Very, very important. Okay. So initially, you have, well, not initially, but you got three. I'm going to go cover three different ways, three different trade-offs you got in life, right? You got trade-offs in relationships, you got trade-offs in business, and you got trade-offs in your own health, right? And so you want to really critically think about those, especially the health one. We'll start off with the health one. The health one, you have a trade-off in health. You can either go work out or you can eat healthy or not. What are the trade-offs, right? So the trade-offs are, if I don't decide to eat healthy, if I don't decide to go work out, later on, the trade-off is later on, you're going to be way more. All right. Sorry about that. You're going to be. I don't know how that keeps happening. The present moment, the present moment is what's going to keep you in there. All right. So, really thinking about stuff for the future today is what's important on this trade-off topic that I'm talking about. So in business, you got a trade-off. Okay. For me specifically, I was just speaking with somebody yesterday. You can either go all in, quit your job, do all the crazy stuff, go super extra risky and be like, this is what I'm going for. Or you could not. And you could decide, you know what, I'm gonna go this route and decide to work the 9 to 5 and maybe build it later. I mean, really, there's three ways you can go about it. Or you can try and build it at the same time, right? But there's a trade-off. With building it at the same time, there's going to be a trade-off of energy, right? So you're gonna have to really, really work overtime if you have both of them, but you're gonna be working overtime really in either way, in either case. But it's a trade-off in your mind as far as how you want to proceed, right? In the present moment, thinking about the future. Okay. And I'm gonna make this quick, y'all. This probably gonna be like a 5-minute video because obviously I got Cupcake today. But anyway, so think about that. The trade-offs in your business. If you decide to go into business for yourself, there are always going to be trade-offs. Here, you want to see that? You want to see that? There's always going to be trade-offs. Okay. Um, either you go all in or you pace it and you wait a little later. You be more patient, right? The trade-offs is time, right? The trade-offs is time. Okay, so if I decide to work my job and do my business at the same time, it might take a little bit longer, but you'll be a little bit safer. The trade-off, if I decide to quit my job, what my income, everything is right away. Oh, okay, I gotta pay attention. I gotta try and drive revenue. That's the position I'm in. Don't recommend it, but it's a trade-off because I'm like, I'm betting on myself more than anything, right? And that's the trade-off that I was willing to embrace. So you got to think about that. So then in relationships, right? And sometimes this is a really critical topic, especially now. There's just a lot of things happening, especially around these times, holiday times and things like that. A lot of people are argumentative, they break up, all of this type of stuff. Why? Because of money and all of this other stuff. So what? Okay, you got to really think about it. Look at your partner, look at who you with, and it's like, okay, there's a trade-off. Either I'm going to be by myself, right? And I'm going to have to deal with a lot of stuff on my own, like I'm doing right now, right? That was my trade-off. It was like, okay, am I going to be mentally more mentally acute by myself or with another individual. And for me, I was like, I need that solitude. I need to be able to have that mental space to myself. Is it more difficult now watching the kids and all of that stuff? Yes, that's the trade-off, right? It's like pros and cons. It's the same thing. You want to think about these things before you decide to go into it. That's the trade-off. So if you decide, you know what, I'm gonna be by myself, recognize that there is going to be a trade-off in that relationship. When even if y'all don't have kids, if you decide to leave another individual because of whatever the case may be, there's a trade-off. If you decide to stay with them, there's a trade-off, right? You might have to be a little bit more patient. You might have to be a little bit more forgiving and all of that stuff. It's going to be on you to really, really think about what you're doing and what the trade-offs are. but look, that's all I wanted to talk to y'all about today, because I was realizing that today. I'm like, man, there's a lot of trade-offs in life just in general. And the three things that I had to cover was relationships, business, and health. Health to me is a no-brainer. I'm getting it in, working out as much as possible, as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna make sure I take care of my health in that way as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna make sure I try to pay attention to the food that I'm eating, right? And the trade-off is, yeah, sometimes stuff don't taste so good, right? The trade-off on the other side is, yeah, do a Big Mac taste delicious? Sure, right? In the moment, but what's the trade-off, right? Okay, and then business, right? You could jump right into entrepreneurship. The trade-off is there could possibly be a big payoff betting on yourself like that, but you will be hit right away financially. You'll stop your income immediately, right? But on the other hand, you can not do that. You can stay in your job and you can continue to try and work on your side business. The trade-off is the time. It may take a little longer, right? And then you can decide, hey, I'll never do that. What's the trade-off? The possibility of massive growth, right? If you decide, no, I'm never going to do entrepreneurship. I'll never. Big Macs are awful. I know. I don't even know why I said that, because I ain't never even had a Big Mac. But I surprisingly had a dream last night about McDonald's. I don't even know why. It was tripping me out. I'm like, I ain't had McDonald's in years. But anyway, so crazy, dude. But the last thing was the relationships, y'all. The relationships. What is it? Either you're gonna and I'm sorry, I usually put up the the comments and stuff because these is funny. But my USB is going to be destroyed. The trade-off in the relationship, right? Either you stay solo, right? The trade-off is you're going to be dealing with your own lust issues or wanting to be, that companionship issue or whatever the case may be. You're going to be dealing with that. But at the same time, you're going to be able to be super focused because there's no outside influence on what you're doing in your personal life, right? But on the other hand, if you do decide to get into a relationship, you could have the possibility of having a partner that will help and support you, but you're always going to have another person's opinion and ideas in your thought pattern. And so you got to consider that. Because you can't just totally ignore them like, no, we're just here for for bodies, and I'm not going to consider what you're thinking about at all ever. That's not the case, right? So think about those three things, y'all. Think about those three things. If you really want a relationship and you're single right now, or if you want to get out of your relationship and you're not single right now, there's gonna be a trade-off. Okay. In business, there was 3 different examples that I gave for that. There's gonna be a trade-off. Okay. Make sure you look at those trade-offs. And then in your health, I don't know, health actually has you just gotta make sure you're doing what you're doing right now. Because I'm not. Skip the tasty food right now, man. All right. You can have it every once in a while, but not overload yourself, right? Think about your health right now in the moment for the future, because the trade-off in the future is a lot worse than it is right now. Okay. Because you don't want to be old and then sick, and that's just double whammy, right? But outside of that, that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go over too many comments. I'm gonna peruse through some of these real quick, just so you guys can kind of see that there was some conversation in here. But yeah, appreciate you guys for coming on who did. Love you guys very much. Remember, mindset matters more than anything else. This is a trade-off, man. I'm like, yup, finna go live with the kid. Yeah, skip it. This is how we do it. This is how I want it to be, y'all. This is part of the journey. This is part of what I'm trying to build. Is so that we can do things like this. We can bring our kids to work. It's okay. And they can learn. And yes, is it a little frustrating? Sometimes. For the most part, it's all right. But when it's time to get down and focus, we can get it. All right? Clap. Clap, baby. Yay! Say, we're all done. We're all done. Yay! Yay! You gonna clap for me? No. She's like, no. Oh, there we go. Yay! Yay! Okay, yay! All right. We are all done, y'all. Love you guys. Remember, mindset matters more than anything else. Focus on the good. I had to focus on the good for this one. Focus on the good. All right. And have a fantastic rest of the day. Anytime and Cupcake out.